hope you're well and having the most incredible day. As always, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we are going to be diving into my March reading wrap up. I cannot believe there's a hair in my mouth, sorry about that. I cannot believe we're already in April. It is still there. What is going on? This is why lip gloss is never a good idea. Gross. Anyway, I cannot believe we're already in April. I feel like this month has just crept out of nowhere. I cannot believe it, and we are going to be going into summer very, very soon. So I got through 8 books, which I feel like is relatively alright. I was aiming for 9, however, I will accept 8, although one of these is a novella, so does that really count? I'm going to say yes. So let's dive through them all. I have one book which I featured in a reading vlog. I've obviously got my book club book of the month, which I'll go through, and I'm just really excited. So without further ado, I am going to dive right in. I hope you guys enjoy and carry on watching. So the first book I read was a Taylor Jenkins Reid book, and that is Forever Interrupted. This book, honestly, the emotion in this book, I didn't cry. There's only one book I've ever read that made me cry. This was not it. However, essentially this book is about Elsie, who meets a boy called Ben in a pizza shop, and they fall in love extremely quickly, and they elope. And then a week after they're married, he gets hit by a bus and he dies on impact, which it's not a spoiler, it's literally on the blurb, so I do apologise. In the first like 5 pages, just gone. Ben is no more, and my heart just could not handle that. And essentially what this story is about, it's got some kind of flashbacks to when Ben was alive before they got married, and then it's got some kind of after Ben situation going on. It was incredibly moving, incredibly eye-opening, and I just absolutely loved it. For someone who loves romance, there's not really much romance in here because it's not really focusing on the kind of love between the two characters. It's more about the loss and what you can gain from, not gain from that, but does that make sense? Anyway, it was a 5-star read. I absolutely devoured this book. I really, really enjoyed it. I just cannot get over it. I feel like when I read this, I was just kind of, I had no words for like 24 hours. It was just so good. Every Taylor Jenkins Reid book that I have read, I've absolutely loved. So I am definitely really trying to get through the entire backlist of books, but this was no disappointment. I absolutely loved it. And Elsie, I love the name Elsie, so there's that. But yeah, insane. So I was gonna say heartwarming, but it was just such a moving book. So I really enjoyed that. 5 stars, incredible. The next book was featured in a video a few weeks ago, and that was a collab with my amazing friend Kelsey, and we basically sent each other a book to kind of do a reading vlog on, and mine was Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. Now this book, if you love rom-coms and that kind of vibe, you will love this. This again, a 5-star read for me. I absolutely loved it. I'm not going to go into too much detail. If you want to see all my thoughts and opinions, check out that video. It was only a couple weeks ago. But I really, really enjoyed this. The only thing about this I thought was weird was that they call sitting a cross-legged like crisscross applesauce, and I don't know if that's like a non-UK thing, because I have never heard that in my life. I don't know if it's just me or my like generation or anything like that, but like I have never heard that saying ever, and she said it like a few times and I was just a bit like, what are you saying? Like what? I don't understand. Incredible. Love Wes. Favourite character. Insane. Not going to talk about it anymore, but it was brilliant. So if you haven't read this, I highly recommend it, and I have ordered Lynn's other book, which was The Do-Over, I think, so I'm really excited to read that one. Next we have my book club pick of the month. So if you guys didn't know, me and my friend Kelsey have a book club. It's the Across the Pond book club, because she's from the US, I'm not, obviously, and this month it was my pick, which was Attachment by Rainbow Rowell. Now I'm not gonna lie, I did not like this book. I gave it, what did I give it? A 3 stars, and I think that's quite generous actually. But basically what this is about, I can't even remember the characters' names, to be honest with you. Essentially it's about a guy whose job is what's his name? Lincoln? I think that's his name. Anyway, he works as a kind of tech security kind of guy, so he goes through people's emails and he just checks to make sure that everything's like legal and like work related. But Beth and Jennifer basically have like an ongoing conversation through their work emails, and Lincoln is just reading them, and he can't bring himself to kind of turn them in, so he just lets them continue, and he starts to fall for Beth, who is one of the girls, and it's just basically, I don't know, it wasn't that I didn't it wasn't like I didn't like this book, because I did like the ending, although I feel like the ending was very rushed. I would like to have seen a bit more. However, I just feel it was just a bit boring. Like I kind of was just excited for it to be done. So I gave it 3 stars. It just wasn't my favourite. I don't know if I would recommend it. I know Kelsey's opinions on this book, so make sure you check out her video if you want to see, but yeah, not my favourite. So a 3 star, which was a shame, but I'm glad that I've read it. Yeah, just not my favourite. So yeah. The next book I decided to pick up was Unravel Me by Zahira Mafi. I think that's how she pronounces her name. Now, I read Shatter Me back in June last year, which I know the kind of difference in time is large. A lot of people read the Shatter Me series all in one bulk, and I didn't really bother doing that because I read Shatter Me on a whim, and then I really loved it, but I wasn't kind of in a rush to read this book. I have the whole Shatter Me series. I need to finish it. So I thought, you know what, right, let's pick this up, let's go. I think the size of this book was putting me off because it is 473 pages long, and for me, fantasy and that kind of dystopian-y vibe, it's not really fantasy, but if you know what I mean, that kind of world building and things like that, I just find so hard to be gripped with and like really envision it in my brain, if that makes sense. So that is why I was kind of putting this one off. However, incredible book, 5-star read for me. I absolutely loved it, and I'm so annoyed that I've left it this long, because the longer I left it, the more I sort of thought, well, I don't really remember what happened in the first one, so I just kind of kept putting it off. Insane. I absolutely loved it. It was so good. I don't really want to go into too much detail about what happens in this book, because I feel like throughout the whole series it will give things away, but essentially I feel like in this book you kind of decide whether you're an Adam or a Warner kind of person. I would love to know yours down below. Who are you? This is like an Edward or a Jacob, but this is like the 2023 version. I'm more of a Warner. So yeah, just really enjoyed this, and I'm not going to tell you what happens in it because it will ruin it. But if you are thinking about reading the Shatter Me series and you want a book that's just a little bit different, a series that's a little bit different and kind of out of your comfort zone, like for me, my comfort zone is like dark romance and romance books, this was really good. So yeah, 5 stars, incredible. I then had to dive in to the novella that comes after that book, and that is Fracture Me, which I believed was Adam's point of view, I think. Yes, this was Adam's point of view. Again, it's a hard one to start to understand Adam a bit more when you kind of keep reading the books. You sort of realise, actually, do you love Adam? Do you not so much love him? Again, I feel like these 2 novellas, they're not really necessary. I didn't particularly love them. I feel like I want to read them because I'm the sort of person that if I get very infatuated with things, so I need to read it all. So I liked it, but I didn't love it. Let me see what I gave it actually. I can't really remember. So this was a 3-star. I literally just put good but not exciting, and it was from Adam's point of view. That's basically it. It was okay. I feel like if you love the Shatter Me series and you want to read the whole thing, you may as well pick up the novellas because they're really like 80 pages long-ish, so really easy to read in a day. And yeah, I liked it, didn't love it, wasn't really necessary. So after I read that, I wanted a little bit of a break from the Shatter Me series, and I picked up After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Again, another book by her this month. I really loved this one. It wasn't my favourite. I gave this one 4 stars. It was really good. Essentially what this one is about, you've got Lauren and you've got Ryan, and essentially, do I want to say essentially one more time? Essentially, what this one is about is that they are together for a really long time, but their love kind of starts to fizzle away, so they decide to have a year-long break and kind of separate for a year, not to get a divorce, just kind of do their own thing, have no contact whatsoever, and that is kind of what the bulk of the book is about. Now, for somebody who loves a little bit of spice and like romance and that kind of thing, it was a little bit dry in that kind of aspect, which is why I gave it 4 stars. However, I absolutely loved the meaning of this book, the kind of like the understanding that people do go through that kind of thing in real life, and I feel like you're very incredibly lucky if you're constantly in love and have no issues whatsoever in your marriage or in your relationship or anything like that. So I absolutely loved this. I thought it was so good. I just liked the different kind of vibe. So 4 stars, would recommend, but yeah, amazing. The next book I picked up was Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. This is the second Penelope Douglas book I have read, and I love it. I absolutely love it. You guys know I love a spice. This book did not disappoint. It was so good. You've got Misha, you've got Ryan. Now Ryan is the girl and Misha is the boy, and essentially Misha is a bass player, so instantly love it. It's basically about, I'm trying to give it away without giving it away, pen pals, and they've never met. They've been pen pals for like what, 7 to 10 years or something. They've never met, and they both kind of have grown feelings for each other, but it's not really stated anywhere. Then all of a sudden they meet, but they don't necessarily know they're meeting each other, and I'm not going to give any more away, but it's just so good. I absolutely love Penelope Douglas's writing style. I think it's so good. It's such an easy read. Also, look how floppy this is. Like, it was such a comfortable book to read, but I love the cover. It's so good. It's such my vibe, and I gave this one 5 stars. I think so far this could be my favourite book of the year. I feel like that's quite a bold statement, but it is so good. Misha is one of the best book boys I have ever read about, and it was perfection. So a 5-star read. 5-star read, my voice is going. Insane. If you want to read it, if you like a spice, incredible. And the last book I read in March was Ignite Me by Tahira Mafi. I loved this book. Now, spoiler alert, just skip like a couple seconds ahead. I absolutely hated Adam in this. He was the most childish human being. I absolutely hated him. Warner, in love with him. Like, I just love him so much. Kenji, love him. Insane character, one of my favourites for sure. But yeah, I hated Adam in this book. He was so annoying. Like, he just needed to shut up. Hated him. But this book was really good. There was a lot going on. The ending was perfect. It kind of ended really well, and I don't know whether I'm making this up, but I feel like this could be, did the author stop writing after this one for a while and then carry on? I feel like I've heard that somewhere. But it ends really well. Like, I could be done with this story now, I feel, and be content and happy with it. But I am also really excited to carry on with the series. That's kind of how I feel about it. But it was a 5-star read for me. So, so good. You can see all the books on the back as well. I'm just so, so excited to just continue with this series. And also, look at the cover. Like, how beautiful is that? This book art is absolutely stunning. I absolutely love it, and it was just so good. 5-star read. I don't want to say too much more because I don't want to give it away, but if you're into the Shatter Me series, this book was really good. So, incredible. So that is everything I read throughout March. I really hope you guys did enjoy, and I would love to know your thoughts and opinions on these books down below. Have you read any of them, or are you wanting to read any of them? And let me know also down below what you read this month, whether that be 1 book, half a book, 20 books. I'd love to know. And also, before I forget as well, I have recently started a book Instagram, which is melodies_library_. If you want to go and follow me, that would be great, because I just post things about books, obviously, and I feel like it's a nice place for all of us to go and be content and comfy with books. So yeah, but that is everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure you do. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.